Okay, welcome to another show, the final show of Politics of Poltricks. You decide with Tula Cabal and Brother Justin Barnett. We want to say thank everybody for being here today. We had 3 hours, 2 hours we interviewed Brother Jonathan Kenlock, who's running for District 2 Commissioner, and we had Brother Bobby Christian right after that, hour after that. He's running for District 2 Commissioner. Both interviews to me was awesome. So I want to say thank both of the men for coming in. And y'all know what I always say, prayers go up, blessings come down for you. The sound of my voice, God has blessed you to see another day. So let's say amen. Justin, you got anything you want to say?
Oh, I definitely want to say something. I'm glad that the brothers come in and did the show. I'm glad that they did that. We need more of that. We need more people to communicate. And we need that in this area as far as that concern. So I was just totally happy about it. And let's go, man. Let's go. These are the facts right here. So I want to say that. We brought the people out. So that's.
I want to say I want to thank Justin as well, for really putting in the hard work, man, and I'm really getting the people here. I can't thank him enough for that. So, good brother, thank you.
Appreciate
for
that.
putting in the work to make that pop.
And I want to hit you right back for that. That's awesome questions, real questions. And I was kind of waiting for that because I said, man, this is his chance right here. Let's hit him with the questions. So very smooth, rolling off the tongue. I loved it, man. This was good, man.
I know you said you got to get going.
Yeah, I got to get going for a quick second. I'm going to.
That's fine.
I want to intro with you with this one as far as what we was talking about. Just real quick, I'm happy for the candidates, but we did have one topic. I think we was talking about Trump as far as that.
So Trump went to. I mean, and I got to say this. Justin said he was surprised I said it. Trump went to the Black Journalists meeting yesterday. I think it was National Association of Black Journalists. So the sister, I think she's from ABC News in the blue, she started out questioning Trump. Some people got mad about it. I mean, Trump got offended by it because he said she approached him kind of aggressive in the initial stage of the questioning. She didn't say, how you doing, how's everything?
She gave him a super intro, you was right. She gave him a bad intro.
So, I mean, and what I told Justin, I get it. People don't like Trump. And I'm not saying that I'm going to vote for Trump. I'm not saying that. But we always got to, black people got to have etiquettes. We always got to hold ourselves in a high esteem. And personally, I don't like the way that was approached. Mm-hmm. You can honestly tell she had animosity to her. I'm not saying she shouldn't. But at the very least, you say, how you doing? I disagree with your policies. But so I just think that I didn't like that. I didn't like that. So that's what I said.
And hey, so I like that comment that you said you didn't like it, because that's serious right there. I mean, as far as Trump is concerned,
I mean, Justin, we know people don't like Trump. I get it, but Mama taught us to have etiquettes.
Yeah.
Mama said no matter what you do in your situation, you always have etiquettes, and that's all I'm saying right there. There was no etiquette at that particular time, and it was accepted as okay.
Yeah.
Now, what if she would have approached Kamala Harris like that? I know she agreed with his policies, disagree with his policies, but what if she would have talked to Kamala? Listen, black people got to rise above the occasion, particularly those of us who consider ourselves to be professional. Even if we disagree, you don't invite somebody to your show and try to debate them. You just ask them questions like me and you do. We ask questions and we give them an opportunity to answer. But for that, man, no. I believe in human dignity regardless. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree to that, man. I totally
Do you think they set Trump? Well, let me say this. Let me say it a different way. Do you think that Donald Trump should have went to the National Association of Black Journalists? Period. Do you think he should even went there?
I mean, well, that's why we call the show Politics of Poltricks. I mean, as far as that, you're supposed to be open. You're supposed to be able to go anywhere if you want to, as far as when it comes to politics. So as far as that, I'm not mad at him for going.
Okay. So let's move to. Well, you still gotta go.
I got about like 2 more minutes left.
Okay, so let's have a conversation. The elephant in the room, y'all. The Republicans is attacking Kamala Harris and saying that she said that she was Indian and at one time prior to running for the Attorney General's office, and now they're saying she's saying she was black.
Yeah, this is total distraction. I mean, who cares? Personally, but it's a total distraction. What about more of the issues that's going on with the United States as far as pulling out the race card?
So you think that's
too
too
much? I think it was too much. I think it was we got other issues to focus on.
Well,
So
all right, Justin. I appreciate you. I will say that I do agree with him on that. But Trump is a distraction himself. You know that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
some of the stuff he talks about. He lies and say that Tim Scott did something for the black community. And when you do the research, you know that's not even true. You know, now they're trying to disavow themselves from Project 2025, which I think is crazy themselves. But let me say this. Do you think they were shocked that President Biden stepped down and let Kamala Harris become the presidential candidate?
I think that yes, I do. I think they were shocked.
Why you say that?
I think they were shocked because they thought that he was still going to run for president, and now Kamala Harris is in, and so I think it was surprising for me. I think it was surprising for a lot of people for him to step down. So,
Do you think that you think that, and some people say this, that he picked J.D. Vance as a running mate because he felt that Kamala Harris that Joe Biden was going to continue to run in the race?
say that question again.
That he picked J.D. Vance
He picked J.D. Vance
as a vice president candidate because he did not think that Joe Biden was going to step down and not run for president. I mean, that Joe Biden was going to run for president and keep it the same. I mean, Kamala Harris as vice president, J.D. Vance, vice president, Trump and Joe Biden.
Okay, so you're saying that he picked J.D. Vance because he didn't think Biden was going to stand down.
Right, exactly.
I'm not sure. I don't know what's on my mind. Trump's head as far as that.
So let me tell you why I say that. Some people are upset that J.D. Vance is the vice president candidate. Now, because they saying that he's souring Trump, and that they saying that the Democrats tricked him, because had they known that Kamala Harris was not, that Joe Biden wasn't going to run, they would have picked a different candidate for vice president. J.D. Vance got a lot of baggage. He called women that don't have babies cat ladies. You know, I'm just saying, Justin, he does. You know, but that's a problem. You know, he feel that at no level should a woman have control over her body. He does. And when he gave a speech at the RNC convention when he was chosen, it was quiet. There was no fire. When he goes speak, nobody's enthused by him. In fact, what's his name? Elon Musk is the one that convinced Trump to pick J.D. Vance. Okay, you got to go. All right, y'all.
Until next time.
All right, y'all. I got to finish the show by myself. Brother Justin got to get going.
Yeah, I got an emergency,
Okay.
so I got to get
Turn.
to that.
Turn. Okay. All right, family.
All right, man.
All right.
I'll see you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Tyler.
All right. So,
I'll see you later.
so let's have a conversation. The Republicans have buyer's remorse about J.D. Vance. They are upset that they feel that J.D. Vance shouldn't have been chosen and that the Democratic Party tricked them because Joe Biden knew he wasn't going to run, but yet he waited till Trump picked J.D. Vance, and then Joe Biden turned it over to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is an inspiration to the Democratic Party. What bothers me is when they sit up and call her a diverse equity and inclusion, meaning that Joe Biden chose her simply because she was a black woman and put on a ticket. When I hear people say that she don't have any type of intelligence, I begin to say, well, did they know she was the Attorney General? Did they know she was in the Senate? And if you look at some of her stuff on YouTube, how she cross-examined people on the Senate, it'll make you say, wow, a particular bar, how she debated with Joe Biden. And so when you say stuff like that, it's racist. Nobody can deny it's racist. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I say that. In the history of this country, nobody has ever complained about two white men running in the office together. Nobody has ever said that two white men running in office is a DEI hired, which I call DEIWP, right? And I'm just saying this with respect for those who prescribe and say that Kamala Harris is DEI hired. Diversity, equity, inclusion, white privilege. Nobody ever challenged that. If Kamala Harris was to pick a woman, she can't pick. Listen, I done talked to numerous people, and they said that Kamala Harris cannot pick a woman to run because the voters are not ready for a woman to be two women to run for president of the United States. All right, family, the two women are not ready to have a woman for president and a woman for vice president. And I asked one question. I said, well, why don't y'all say that about white men when they run? The phone number to call in is 313-365-7379. And that's 313-365-7379. Why don't y'all say that about white men that run? Right? Why? In America, the political system is a sexist and a misogynist system. The Republicans are afraid to put a woman as a vice president. They are afraid because in their mind, nobody will pick a woman. But let me say this, and this is what I tell people. Well, you didn't have no problem with Big Mama and Mama took care of you. You had two women take care of you then. You didn't have no problem with Big Mama and Mama taking care of you. At no time did you tell them, I don't want two women to run for president, or I don't think Kamala Harris is equipped to be president. And guys give all these mundane, stupid evaluation and statements. Well, you know how women are. They're emotional. So are men. And then for J.D. Vance to say that women who don't have children have emotion or they're cat ladies, are you for real, family? Are you for real? You know how stupid that sounds? So let's just call a spade. America, in the political system, is sexist and it's racist. Let me tell you why. Before Kamala Harris was chosen by Joe Biden, people thought that Joe Biden was going to resign. And these are so-called progressive Democrats. Let me put it out here. They began to name everybody to run for office but Kamala Harris. I recall watching Abby Phillips one night sometime in June. And she said, well, what about Kamala Harris running? Oh, the guy said, oh, yeah, Kamala Harris too. But why when you mention her? So the racism she's dealing with existed in the state of Vainglory. That's Escalon, meaning that it existed with their own party. That's a fact. But they can't do nothing about the train is rolling now. The train is rolling. Hey, they got white. Oh, we got a call. Oh, that's you. You got white women for Kamala Harris. You got black women for Kamala Harris. You got white dudes for Kamala Harris. You got black men for Kamala Harris. I heard they got LGBT. So she got all these groups of people that's galvanized for her. And why is that? You want me to tell you why? Because Trump don't have no policies. We need to understand the flash, the fame, the glory is over. We have to realize that. If you really look at Donald Trump and his policies, what do he talk about? And I want y'all to really, phone number 313-365-7379. 313-365-7379. Anybody disagree with me, call and have a conversation. Donald Trump never talks about policies, and he lies. And people believe it. I had a young brother tell me at the gym, oh, Donald Trump did more for black people than anybody. I said, no, he didn't, bro. Lyndon Baines Johnson did. And I started breaking it down. I did the voters' rights side, Pell Grants, education, Head Start. I could just stop there. And he said, oh, okay. Because we don't understand the importance of this election. We think it's a game. It's not. And I'm glad that Kamala Harris has galvanized the Democratic base. And let me say this. I respect Joe Biden for what he did bring to the table. So let me say that. Let me give me a drink of water, because I want to have this conversation. We got a call. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Jerry. This is Amanda.
Hello, how you doing, Amanda?
I'm good. And I see that you're doing amazing. I absolutely enjoyed both of your guests. I feel like I really, really love the guests. I like that whole type of show you're doing it. I like other shows you do, but very intelligent guests. I would vote for them, most definitely. I feel like you did a great job interviewing them.
Okay, thank you.
And yes, and I just feel like you are amazing. Justin's an amazing person, and I'm so happy to be one of your guys' number one fan.
Okay, thank you so much.
Have a good day, too.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We appreciate that we enlighten people. And the phone number again to call in is 313-365-7379. That's 313-365-7379. We appreciate that. So, we got another caller. So, because we family, and when I say family, I mean the human family. We need to really have the conversation, right? Because what is it about women that intimidate Republican candidates, right? And I say that because women in general don't make more money than men. And you know who held the bill up? To give women equal pay? The Republicans did. What is it about a woman that intimidates them? I don't get it. And then you try to disbase Kamala Harris. And listen, and let's be clear. If she would not have steamrolled like she did, when she was picked, we found out on a Sunday by President Biden that he was resigning and he was endorsing Kamala Harris. Immediately, 40,000 black women got together. The next day, Roland Martin had 54,000 black men. That Thursday, you had white women. I think it was over 100,000 white women. Then the week after that, you had white dudes. So it was a steamroll, so nobody could question what she did. That she was, in fact, the candidate that had to be in party. Why? So I don't, even if some people try to look at some of her policies, they start, and I'm going to just say it, I'm going to say the elephant that's out loud. Some people are upset at the fact that how she treated black men when she was the attorney general. But I always tell people that when black people come to picking a president, we have always been in a position where we got to pick what they call, and I'm not saying this apply to Kamala Harris, so let me put that out there, the lessons of the two evil. Some of them had horrible histories. Lyndon Baines Johnson used the N-word, 1957. Look it up. He passed the Civil Rights Bill, and he called it the N bill. Facts, he did that. So we can't. President Biden said, if you ain't black, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. He said that. So we have a forgiving heart. So why can't we apply that same forgiveness to Kamala Harris? Or do we just look for reasons to hate on her? Period. That's the question I'm asking. Some of us, and I heard this before too, Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation, family. Some people are mad at the fact that she is not married to a brother, which to me it don't matter. I'm just being straightforward with that. I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. But to have that type of view, man, I mean, we have to look at her policies and what she gonna do for our people and for American people in general. I think some of the reasons we use, we meaning Democrats, are stupid. And so I was watching something where people say they want to vote for Trump. You ask them why. I'm just tired of the Democratic Party. So tell me what the Republican Party have done for black people. Phone number 313-365-7379. Call in and tell me what the Republican Party in general, and don't give me no lies, have done for black people. What we do know is that they turned down that George Floyd policing bill. We do know that. So now you got a Shannon Massey in Chicago who's murdered in a house. Had that bill been passed, the police officers went to 6 different police departments. 6. But had the George Floyd policing bill been passed, it would have been a red dot on his behavior. Then you had, let's be honest with this, Tim Scott, the so-called Republican, was working on it. But you had 2 Democrats that shot it down. Christopher Sinema, at the Democrats at the time, and Joe Manchin. So let's not, we got to, and the reason I'm having this conversation, because we got to kind of like support Kamala Harris, unless we do. So I want y'all to imagine if Donald Trump was in power. I want y'all to imagine January the 20th, 2025, if Donald Trump won and became in power. What do you really think he's going to do for African Americans or poor people? Now, I want y'all to imagine, because listen, let me tell you something. That Project 2025 is real. It was 38 people that comprised that bill. 31 of them was out of his old administration, including Ben Carson and Stephen Miller. If you think that they're not going to implement Project 2025, something's legitimate wrong with you. Y'all need to, you can listen, you don't want to read 900 pages? Go on YouTube and look up Project 2025. They got people that got videos on it explaining it to you in depth. And for those who think it's not real, it's real. Donald Trump just told a group of Christians about 4 or 5 days ago, don't worry, just vote for me, Christians. When I get in there, I'm going to fix it. What is he talking about? We got to wake up, folks. We don't understand the importance of voting. That's why I do shows like this, because we have to understand, and I'm particularly talking to what they call the marginalized poor people. We don't like to vote, right? I heard people say, well, it's rigged. It's already rigged. I ain't going to vote. Then when they pass a law, because your grandma or your uncle or your mama got to get food stamps, and now they done cut the food stamp. Now you can't go over there and eat. Now you see mama and grandma upset. But you didn't want to vote for the person. And I'm not saying all black people fit in the box of food stamps. But let's be real about this. People who are what they call marginalized and poor, we depend on government benefits. We depend on food stamps, we depend on Medicaid, and we depend on the food kitchen, the food pantries, right? We do. We depend on Section 8. Donald Trump wiping all that out on Project 2025. So on January the 20th, when he get in office, that's out. That ain't. So what you gonna do then? Have buyer's remorse that you didn't vote because you didn't think voting was important? And I'm talking to the marginalized, the poor black people. Middle class blacks and up, they understand the importance of vote. Most of them gonna do their civic duty. And if they don't do it, it's because they're disgruntled with the system. I'm talking about a majority of poor blacks who feel there's no interest in voting, But you getting them bridge cards. You getting that Medicaid. Your family getting Social Security. Big Mama getting Social Security. Pawpaw getting Social Security. And guess what happened when they get that Social Security? Let's have a conversation, family. Guess who they call to come over there? Baby, you want to come take me to the store? Big Mama just got a check. I'm going to take you out to eat. Okay, Big Mama, I'm coming over there. Pawpaw got his check. You need something for school? Pawpaw get you a pair of shoes. I can't afford it, but I got you. That's the conversation. Or Big Mama get them food stamps. You tell my Big Mama I ain't got no food. Well, baby, come over and get my food stamp card. You can get about $40, $50 off of it. So eliminate Big Mama food stamp card and that Social Security check. What you gonna do then? What you think Big Mama gonna do? And that's how we gotta think in terms of futuristic. We can't always think when we vote that somehow we just voting for ourselves. We're voting for people who need our vote in order to keep their benefits. Because let me tell you this, when you was growing up, Big Mama gave them food stamps. Big Mama cooked them eggs and grits when you had to go to school that morning. You didn't have no problem with that. And let's be real, those who are listening or will listen later, who know Big Mamas, who know dads, who know Big Pawpaw, they know they get them food stamps. And ain't nobody gonna turn their plate down. You ain't gonna say, well, nah, Big Mama, I'm straight. I ain't trying to eat your, you can't wait till Big Mama cook on her food stamps. So why would you not vote in order for Big Mama to keep that benefit? That's the question I'm putting out there for those who are marginalized and poor. It's one day, November. You can register. They'll send you to vote. We aren't taught in the black community how to be civically active, meaning we aren't taught politics. And trust me, I come from the mud like you, but I understand the importance of voting. How did I learn? Because how my mom was treated. That's how I learned. I learned when my mama was trying to get food or get programs for us, she was denied because they had changed the rules and the game. And I did not vote. And I did not understand. And I'm like, whoa, what's this? Oh, I wasn't in, let me rephrase that. I wasn't in the position to vote. I was young. So at that time, I learned the game, man. And we got to learn that as poor people. Poor people got to stop dealing with these old false theories. You know, where they pick who they want. Trump gonna win anyway. You know, my vote don't count. But it does count. If it didn't count, they wouldn't be trying to stop you from voting. You really think they ain't trying to stop us from voting? I just had Brother Jonathan Kinlock on my show today. And let me tell you what former President Trump did in 2020. I think it was November 17, 2020. I think that's what he told me. When they got ready to certify the elections in the city of Detroit, it was 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats canvassers. The 2 Republicans, whom happened to be a white lady and a white man, they didn't want to certify the election because you got to have 3 people in order to certify the election so the election can move on for the city of Detroit, the city of Wayne County, for Wayne County. So eventually they did. They said, okay, we vote to certify the election. When they got in their car, this is what he explained to me. When they got in their car on Jefferson, Donald Trump called them personally. This should be on the news. I mean, it was for a minute. Right? This was on the news. Brother Jonathan Kinlock told me, this commissioner of District 2. Donald Trump called and told him, hey, don't go back in the building. Don't sign that paper. I'm going to get you a lawyer. Right? So did Romney's daughter, too. Right? They did that. He did that. So the electors did go back in the building. So they tried to go in and say, hey, we was pressured to vote. They said, no, we ain't doing that. Right? So Brother Jonathan Kinlock told me that people was threatening his family because he certified that election. Now, I'm going to tell you this. if the votes had he given in to pressure and not certified that election, Joe Biden would not be in office right now. Did you hear what I just said? If he would have gave into the pressure and not certified that election after he was threatened, Joe Biden would not be in office right now. And I looked at him, I said, kudos to you, brother. I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you certified that election. But my thing is, and I said it to him, why aren't they talking about this in Michigan like they're talking about Georgia? Because it's the same thing. They got a recording of Trump doing that, saying that, trying to intimidate people. Why am I saying this? Because if your vote did not count, you really think he would have did? That's illegal. That's called voter intimidation. If Barack Obama had did that, called Iowa and told them, 2 black people, hey, don't do that, he would have been indicted. If Barack Obama was in Georgia and told a black governor, hey, I only need 11,000 more votes, he would have been indicted. If Barack Obama had 91 felonies, listen, follow me, y'all, follow me. 91 felonies pending. You got black men, they get 1 felony. They gonna treat you like you done broke out, the temples in Egypt. You out of there. 91 felony. I want y'all to imagine this. Black man, Barack Obama. And he got 34 convictions. Do you really think people will vote for him? I mean, I want y'all, and he got convicted of fraud. Not only that, he got 6 bankruptcies. Now listen, 6 bankruptcies. He was sued for making a false school, and they sued him and won, correct? And he said, now I want y'all to put Barack Obama, and I'm not trying to debase the brother, but I'm trying to give people a connection to what I'm saying. And he said that disparaging remark that Trump said about women. Would we be having this conversation? No, we wouldn't. I mean, let's be honest, family. Listen, what is this called? Politics or Poltricks, you decide. It's racist. If Barack Obama raised his fist in the air, right, on January the 6th, 2021, and he told all them black people, listen, you got about 8,000 black people, we're going to say 3,000 or 4,000 black people out there. And he said, don't y'all, you got to fight for your country. I'll meet you up there at the White House. You think he wouldn't have got impeached? Now I want y'all to think about what I'm saying. Is it logical? He would have got impeached immediately. He would have been indicted immediately. You think the Supreme Court would have said, oh no, well, you on official business, you can do whatever you want to do? Absolutely not. They got brothers that get charged with 2 felonies. They throw them in jail for the rest of their life. Some of these brothers are innocent and they still hold them in prison. Facts. So why are they in love with Trump? And a lot of people say, and I'm going to just put it out there, that it's a white Christianist nationalist, meaning racist white people, who embracing Trump because they said Trump said, make America great again. So my statement has always been, when was America great, Trump? Explain this to me. Make America great again. When was it not great? Explain this to black people. Explain this to the marginalized people. When was America great, Trump? And I ask people that who say that, they can never give me an answer. They can't. So it's a dog whistle. When people talk about 1776, we were slaves. Facts. 12 of the so-called founding fathers were slave owners. Thomas Jefferson was involved in a relationship with a teenage girl. So, I mean, I go, George Washington. Let me tell you what he used to do. He used to pull the teeth out of slaves and put them in his mouth when his teeth fell out, if they mashed his teeth. That's a fact. So when was America great? Explain this to Tula Cabone. Phone number 313-365-7379. Let me take me a drink of water. Let me take a drink. Because you need to explain this to Tula Cabone. My people, meaning black people, up to the 1960s, we were being lynched. Even if we look at lynchings in America, we see the people who participate in the lynchings, and not one of them has ever been prosecuted. So when was America great, Trump? We look at Rosewood. We look at Autumn Town, Seneca, New York, which is now, what's that part? Yeah. We don't get no justice. Even when we use the political system, they always change the rules. The rules change. I was listening to Fannie Lou Hamer. She had to take a poll tax. She had to take the test, I think, more than once. She created her own Democratic Party. Facts. So Trump, so anybody that's a Republican, chime in and tell me, when was America great again? Let me give you the phone number just in case you want to call. 313-365-7379. Let's keep moving. 1960s, we had a lot of black activist organizations who was active in the black community. These brothers was about their business. One of them was the Black Panthers, who started the first school, who started the first breakfast program, and what we know now as urgent care. They had volunteer clinics, and they was being killed to intimidate black men not to follow their strength. J. Edgar Hoover said they're the number one enemy of America. How? It was so many bombers in Birmingham, they called it Bombingham. Facts. So tell me when America was great. George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, Shannon Massey. You go on and on. So when has America been great for marginalized people, particularly black people? How are you going to uproot that and change it? Then you send these brothers out who are trying to bamboozle black people, Brian Donalds, Tim Scott, to make these false statements about Trump. But Brian Donalds, I showed you on Roland Martin. Anybody go see it? Look, Google Roland Martin talking to Brian Donalds about the programs he did. He don't want to vote for reparations. He said he's not voting for the George Floyd policing bill. He's not voting for John Lewis voting bill, but he will vote for Juneteenth. Of course, that's a safe bet for you, and you get the day off. You got Amber Rose speaking at the Republican convention, who got an organization called Slut Walk. Okay, so let me understand this. Have they ever put a white woman up there who was in, and not let me say this, I don't knock nobody for what you do. But when you get up that line to the people, and this election, well, I got a problem with that. Have they ever put a white woman to speak at any Republican convention that has an organization called Slut Walk? In fact, if you think it's okay, why don't you buy your daughter a T-shirt that says Slut Walk and I'm a part of the organization? That sound crazy, don't it? And she said, I'm voting for Donald Trump. Ain't nobody brainwashed you. You weren't saying that when you was dancing in Jeezy video in 208. We got to be careful as a people how we move. We got people that's marginalized and poor that stay depending on us to fight for their rights. I promise you I do that. I seen a brother on the side of the road of 6 Mile and 75. Brother was out of it. He had long hoodie on. He had long pants on. He was sweating. It was about 80 degrees, 85 degrees. I rolled the window down. You know what I told him? I gave him some money, and I looked at him. I said, don't you ever give up. You don't care what nobody tell you, family. Don't you never give up. He looked at me, he said, I won't, man. I said, stay strong. That's a fact. Now, how many of you that's listening to this right now would do that? And that's universal. We're not talking about just Republicans. We're talking about Democrats and Republicans. I see people, my own people, let's have a conversation, who got these nice, fancy cars. They see these brothers and ride right past them, talking about, I'm going to church. Going to church for what? Help me understand what you're going to church for. Oh, so you buying into that concept of Trump secretly, make America great again? So that what you think, that the brother's suffering? Somehow America was going to get great and he's going to get it together? So, and I'm hitting home with this, make America great again, because tell me when America have been great for black people. Sure, we'd have made some progress. Sure we have. But as a people, as a majority, I was watching The Defiant Lawyer, and I'm going to show that in about 2 weeks. Because Monday, I got somebody coming in talking about senior abuse. But he said that if we measure the wealth of African Americans now, it's about the same as it was during the Reconstruction period. We are under the impression that when we can see black people wearing $1,000 coats and $200, $500 shoes and see them on TV, that expensive stuff, that we the man. No, you didn't make it, and you're probably broke. Did you hear what I just said? You didn't make it. That's an illusion. That's an illusion. And we have to understand that. Period. So when was America great? I mean, I'm waiting for a Republican to call me. A Republican, Democrat, you could be on the fence with Trump. 313-365-7379. Again, 313-365-7379. Tell me when it was great for black people, particularly for black men, poor black men. Let me be clear. Poor black men are being left out of society politics right now. When the Democrats come out and speak most of the time, you know what they say? Oh, we're coming out to speak. We're talking to the middle class. Well, what about the brothers that's marginalized and poor? What about that brother I see on 6 Mile in Woodward that's talking to himself, who just need for you to say, we're going to get you help? What's up with that? So you tell us that, you give up on us. And I'm going to say this, and I don't think I'm going to catch no flack for it. People, what I see in the Democratic Party, and I say this with respect, a lot of the Democratic Party aren't embracing poor black men. And they think, when they talk about justice reform, like everybody that's poor, that's all we think about. We don't. We just want opportunity. But then what they do, they go and give our black women more opportunities than they do black men. And brothers talk about it all the time. They do. But I ain't mad at that, because it's not their responsibility to a certain degree. And I say that with respect. I say that with respect. I cheerlead my sister. I'm all in. Fight the power. I'm all in for that. But please don't forget about your poor brothers that's on the corner, who need just a kind word of encouragement. Because in the 60s and the 50s, you would encourage that. You would encourage that brother, because your mama would have made you a big mama. Go out there and take that boy something to eat. Y'all know he ain't right. Ain't that what Big Mama used to say? We was growing up, we had a little more respect for the community. Now we on the illusion that we free. Somehow you free because your money is your foundation. That's nuts. I told this to somebody. They don't believe that Donald Trump is getting black men to vote for him. I disagree with that, because I'm out here. Donald Trump is focusing on the marginalized black men, the poor black men, the rappers who got felonies in Brooklyn. I go on and on about brothers who we associate with, and the first thing the commentators say on these main news stations, oh, he's just a felon. But they don't know that felon can influence 100,000 people to vote for Trump. I'm sorry. That felon can influence 100,000 people to vote for Trump. That brother you think is downtrodden because he was homeless or his position was, and you don't have nothing to do with it. He'll go break bread with him or send Brian Dowdles or Tim Scott out or Ben Carson. He convinced them brothers that he really cared about them. And by them brothers not being savvy enough or intellectual enough to understand there's more to it than that, they don't even question it. They inherently believe because Brian Dowdles come smoke a cigar and Tim Scott talk the language that Trump really care about them. He don't even care about them. And that's because the Democratic Party don't reach out to him. I have not seen the Democratic Party walking around on 6 Mile and Woodward talking to the people. I have not seen the Democratic Party walking on 7 Mile and Grassley, Somerset and Cashew talking to the people. That's a whole voting block of people that you could tap into. But you ain't got to, because I'm telling you this. Donald Trump trying to tap into him. And I hope that he do not convince them to vote for him. But I'm saying this to you, those who are Democrats, please go and start having an outreach to these marginalized brothers. Have brothers come from where they come from. They go out and talk to them on why they should vote for the Democrats. Period. And that's just how it goes. Y'all, I got about 3 more minutes. Nobody called in. 313-365-7379. Again, call and tell me how Donald Trump said America was great again. Was it when the Nazis was marching, I think it was North Carolina, South Carolina, and he said it was good people on both sides? I ain't never been a good Nazi. Was it when he debased black people? Was it when he talked about the 5 brothers in New York that were falsely accused of raping that woman who so happened to be white? Trump took out a big ad in the New York Times and said they should be given an electric chair. To this day, he's never apologized to them, even though they've been exonerated of the crime. So when was America great again? I'm waiting. Hey, God's will, we'll be on next week. You got a right to call in and tell me when was America great again, right? Because I haven't figured the game out. And it's not but a bamboozle, man. It's more of a simpleton type. Have you ever met a guy, and I'm getting ready to close in a minute. Have you ever met a guy that talked real slick, a girl that talked real slick, and she done had 5 or he done had 10 girlfriends, and then he start talking to you, you fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And then you say, damn, I can't believe this guy ripped me off and I done had a baby or get a girl pregnant, she trying to rip you. But you already knew that the snake bit. It came to you like a grass snake, but it was a rattlesnake. All you had to do was listen to the rattlers, and it bit you. And then you get mad because you voted for Trump and he sank your parade, or Big Mama parade. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate Mr. Tyler sitting there the whole 3 hours. I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. Catch me Monday at 5 o'clock on Real Talk with Tula Cabone, www.fm881, WHPR.com. Catch Let's Talk with Simple Lady T at 4 o'clock Monday. Same thing, WHPR 88.1, WHPR 88.1fm.com. She got a fire show, so get at her. All right, y'all. Peace, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people.